Ain't I a woman too?
Ain't I a woman too? Ain't I a woman too?
Ain't I a woman too?
Ain't I a woman too?
Ain't I a woman too?
Ain't I a woman too?
Ain't I a woman too?
Ain't I a woman too?
I have an acknowledgement called reparation statement that I'd like to share before I share about my story. We acknowledge the historic, enduring, and current contributions and sacrifices of communities displaced, compromised, oppressed, and traumatized by the colonization in the United States of America. Let us pause to give reverence and honor to the African American people for their sacrifices during slavery and recognize the enduring violence and long-standing inequitable policies and practices that are still relevant today. We seek to give credence to the past and to the present, catalyzing equity, resiliency, wealth, and holistic health to be attainable for everyone. But it's also a way of healing for me to be able to even state this. I have not been able to say these things when I was a young girl. It was, for one, nobody listened.
Ain't I a woman too?
Ain't I a woman too?
I'm a woman too, ain't I?
Right, I'm just supposed to, be grateful for what I have, and even though at times it was not a safe place for me, right? You have education, you have food, and it's like, I'd probably rather be poor, or sometimes I thought maybe I'd rather be dead, because I went through a rough time in my lifetime.
Ain't I a woman too?
Ain't I a woman too?
Ain't I a woman? Ain't I too?
Ain't I a woman 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 Too came about when I was running for office. I had to run like 3 times to get in office. I ran 3 times. I put my name in for an appointment. So if you think about it, as a Black woman, how hard it is to get to this point, to where I am. It wasn't easy. Not everybody runs 3 times, right? I think some people give up maybe after 2, but I knew I wasn't going to give up. I knew that eventually my voice and the things I was saying, people would get, because part of it is they can't get past that I'm a Black woman, right? How can she govern?
Ain't I a woman too?
Ain't I a woman too?
Ain't I a woman too?
It was a time back in 2015 and 2017 and 2019 even, where we still couldn't talk about it. I still needed to code switch, and I needed to be careful because I didn't want to upset my white counterpart, or my who I would say is actually my ally.
Ain't I a woman too?
Ain't I a woman too?
Ain't I a woman too?
Here's the thing. I still have community members who don't have a home, who don't have a job, who are dying at the hands of police, who have all this other stuff going on, who are facing health issues, right? Who are dying 11 years younger. I can't get on board with that right now, right? I need to have my voice so we can build some policies that are going to work.
Ain't I a woman too?
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 I came across Sojourner Truth in that story, and it really resonated to me how she, fought to get her kids back as a Black woman back then, way back when, right? And we went and she did that speech at a women's rally, right? And her speech, it's just powerful.
That man over there says that women need to be helped into carriages and lifted over ditches, and to have the best places everywhere. Nobody ever helps me into carriages or over mud puddles or gives me any last place. And ain't I a woman? Look at me. Look at my arm. I have plowed and planted and gathered into barns, and no man could head me. And ain't I a woman? I could work hard as much and eat as much as a man, when I could get it, and bear the lash as well. And ain't I a woman? I have borne 13 children and seen most all sold off to slavery, and when I cried out my mother's grief, none but Jesus heard me. And ain't I a woman?
But also during that time, the Me Too campaign was going on. Tawana Burke, they put her on the back page of the Time magazine. And she started the Me Too campaign. Why is she on the back page when she started it? And I just started connecting with all of this. And I'm just like, I've got to do this project for school. What we're going to do is we're going to go around and we're going to record women of color just making that statement. Ain't I a woman too? And it's so amazing just to watch people and watch the folks, because we had other people who identify as women and a couple people who are living with disabilities that were added to the video. But it's such a powerful video.
Ain't I a woman too?
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 That's another piece of why it's important to have this Unity Fund, and how do we tell the stories of mostly local African American, African heritage people living here.